Now we have to discuss about the topic pharmacopoeia. Pharmacopoeia is an official publication which contains the monograph of the drugs, that is, list of medicinal drugs with their effects and directions for their use. The term pharmacopoeia is derived from two Greek words, that is pharmakon and poin. Pharmakon means drug and poin means make. Combination of these two words, that is pharmakon and poin, means any recipe or formula or other standard required to make or prepare a drug. Then we have to discuss in detail about the Indian Pharmacopoeia. Indian Pharmacopoeia is an official compendium which is intended for overall quality control and assurance of all pharmaceutical products that are manufactured or sold in India. Main objective of developing Indian Pharmacopoeia was to improve public health by ensuring the safety, efficacy and quality of the drugs. Indian Pharmacopoeia consists of standard analytical procedures and specifications for medicines. On the behalf of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, that is IPC, is involved in the publication of Indian Pharmacopoeia. Okay. Then we have to discuss about various editions of the Indian Pharmacopoeia. First, we have to discuss about first edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia, which was published in the year of 1955. Okay, let us go through the salient features of first edition. The title of monographs have been given in Latin language and abbreviated titles for use in prescription have been given immediately below the Latin title. Okay. Then the English title also given below the abbreviation title. Then the weights and measures are given in metric system, and all statements contained in the individual monographs has been considered as constitute standards for the official substances. Then doses are expressed in both in metric system and in English system. And list of preparations which has been given at the end of some of the monographs. Then temperature is given or expressed in Celsius thermometric scale. That is, temperature is given in Celsius, not in Fahrenheit. Then the descriptive terms such as very soluble, freely soluble, sparingly soluble, slightly soluble, very slightly soluble, practically soluble, such descriptive terms has been given, where the exact solubility of the pharmacopoeial substance is not known. Okay. Then the tenure of the first Indian Pharmacopoeia Committee expired in the year of 1954, and the committee was reconstituted under the chairmanship of Dr. B.N. Ghosh, who is the professor of pharmacology at R.G. Kha Medical College, Calcutta. Then the committee compiled a supplement to the first edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia. The supplement was published in the year of 1960. Then we have to look through the composition of committee entrusted with the compilation of second edition of Pharmacopoeia was chairman, then 11 members and secretary and assistant secretary. Okay. Then next, this committee appointed the following subcommittees for assisting the compilation work. They are Pharmacology and Bioassay Subcommittee, Biological Products Subcommittee, Antibiotics, Vitamins and Hormones Subcommittee, Pharmacognosy Subcommittee, Pharmacy Subcommittee, Pharmaceutical Subcommittee, General Chemistry Subcommittee, Analytical Subcommittee, Physical Standards, Weights, Measures and Nomenclature Subcommittee, Indian Medicinal Plants Subcommittee. Okay, these are the subcommittees appointed. Then, for the purpose of expediting the compilation of the second edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia, the IPC, that is our Indian Pharmacopoeia Committee, constituted a working group to examine the comments which is received on the draft monographs and then submitted suitable recommendations to the committee in the light or in the knowledge of their comments. Then the second edition of the Indian Pharmacopoeia was published in the year of 1966 and later its supplement was published in the year of 1975 by the Government of India. Okay, then next one is second edition of the Indian Pharmacopoeia, which was published in the year of 1966. Then let's go through the salient features of this edition. In first edition, titles of monographs have been given in the Latin language. Okay, in this second edition, it was changed from Latin to English. Then the words of the title have been transposed to give the name of drug first. For example, injection of aminophylline has been changed to aminophylline injection. Then doses are expressed in the metric system only. In the first edition, it was expressed in metric system and English system. But here, doses are expressed only in the metric system. Then, solubility is expressed in parts of solvent per unit part of solute. Okay. Then, the preparations of a drug have been given immediately after the monographs on the parent drug. Then, test for sterility has been modified to provide for detection of the fungi and also to aerobic and anaerobic bacteria. Then, new analytical techniques such as non-aqueous titrometry, column chromatography, etc. has been included. Then, in case of tablets and injections, new subheading, that is usual strength, has been included, which represent the strength of the tablet or injection in which it should be generally marketed. Okay. Then the Government of India, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, by their resolution dated 38th June 1979, reconstituted the Indian Pharmacopoeia Committee for a period of 5 years for the preparation of third edition of the Indian Pharmacopoeia. The committee consists of chairman, 13 members which represents the academic, research and the industry, then a secretary and assistant secretary. Okay. Then this committee appointed the following subcommittees: Clinical Medicines and Pharmacology Subcommittee, Biological Products and Bioassay Subcommittee, Antibiotics Subcommittee, Synthetic Drugs Subcommittee, Medicinal Plants, Galenicals and Surgical Dressings Subcommittee, Chemicals and Pharmaceutical Aids Subcommittee, Parenteral and Sterile Products Subcommittee, Non-Parenteral Products Subcommittee, Analytical Methods, Reagents, Diagnostic Aids and Containers Subcommittee, Nomenclature and Formula Subcommittee. These are the subcommittees appointed by the committee. Okay. Then, Indian Pharmacopoeia Committee also constitutes a working group for the purpose of preparing draft monographs and appendices, for the purpose of examining the comments received from various sources and make a suitable recommendations to the committee. The monographs, appendices and general notes, which is prepared by the working group and finalized by the committee, were published in the form of a third edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia in the year of 1985 by the Government of India. Okay. Then next one is third edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia, which was published in the year of 1985. All these years are very much important, so should be thorough with these dates. Okay. Then let us go through the salient features of third edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia. New analytical techniques such as flame photometry, fluorimetry, electrophoresis and photometric hemoglobinometry has been introduced as an official method for certain chemical analysis, and dissolution test has been introduced in case of tablets, and also disintegration test has been amended by modifying the design of apparatus and method of testing. Then microbial limit test has been prescribed for certain pharmaceutical aids and oral liquid preparations. Then pyrogen test has been revised for the purpose of time consuming, for the purpose of less time consuming than the previous method. Okay. Then next one, gas liquid chromatography has been recognized as an alternative method for the determination of alcohol concentration in various preparations. Then the test for determination of viscosity has been modified by using Oswald viscometer. Okay. Then the new appendix on water for pharmaceutical use has been introduced to clearly indicate the different official standards, that is purified water, water for injection or sterile water for injection. Then next one, some of the drugs has been renamed in this edition. For example, acetyl salicylic acid has been renamed to aspirin. Okay. Then next, many drugs has been omitted or avoided from this third edition, and many new drugs has been included in the third edition. Okay. Then next, Government of India, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, write their resolution in the date of 12th August 1991, 1991, reconstituted the Indian Pharmacopoeia Committee IPC for a period of 5 years for the preparation of 4th edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia. Then the committee consists of chairman, 18 members, which represents academic research and industry, and a member, secretary and assistant secretary. Okay. This committee appointed the subcommittees and working groups for expediting the preparation of new edition of the Indian Pharmacopoeia. The monographs, appendices and general notes that are prepared by the working group are finalized by the committee were published in the form of 4th edition of Pharmacopoeia in the year of 1996 by the Government of India. Okay. Then next one, 4th edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia, which was published in the year of 1996. Let us go through the salient features of this edition. It contains about 1149 monographs and 123 appendices, and it is available in 2 volumes. Then the computer generated structural formula has been introduced. Then some titles has been changed to include the more commonly accepted names of India. For example, hyoscine hydrobromide for scopolamine hydrobromide. Then infrared and ultrared Absorption spectrophotometric test for identification of drug substances has been introduced as an alternative method for the classical chemical tests. Then, the infrared reference spectra of a number of drug substances has been included in an appendix. Then, next one about HPLC, that is our high performance liquid chromatography, has been widely used as a method to analyze many formulations which can be analyzed by more difficult and less accurate method. For example, biological assay of insulin has been replaced by the HPLC, high performance liquid chromatography technique. Okay, then next one, the test for bacterial endotoxins are a more suitable substitute for the test for pyrogen has been introduced for some articles. Then, a quantitative method for determining particulate matter in injectable preparations has been replaced by the quantitative test of the previous edition. Then, the test is applicable solutions that are supplied in containers with 100 ml or more. Then, the specific biological assays and tests provided for vaccines, hormones, blood products and enzymes have been transferred from an appendix to the individual monographs. Then, in the monographs for oral rehydration salts, that is our ORS bicarbonate formula has been dropped due to its stability problem. It was unstable, where ORS citrate formula was recommended by the WHO, that is our World Health Organization, is retained. Okay. Then, after the publication of 4th edition of the Indian Pharmacopoeia in the year of 1996, an addendum, that is an additional additional publication was published in the year of 2000. And there is another addendum, another additional publication was published in the year of 2002, that is the addendum 2002 was published to incorporate latest developments made in the pharmaceutical sciences. Then, the number of pages in this addendum is continuous with that of volume 1 and 2 of Indian Pharmacopoeia 1996 and addendum 2000. Okay, then the following changes are made in this addendum 2002. That is, first one, a number of tests and standards in monographs have been amended and replaced with the old monographs. Then, the test on bacterial endotoxins replaces the pyrogen test. Then, a new appendix on residual solvent has been incorporated to monitor the content of the organic volatile impurities that are used or produced in the manufacture of an active pharmaceutical substance, that is our API, active ingredient, excipient or medicinal products. Then, an appendix on HPLC, high performance liquid chromatography, has been replaced by a revised version covering ion chromatography. Then, monographs of a number of antiretroviral activities and their formulations have been introduced in this addendum. Then, monographs on vaccines for hepatitis B and that for rabies have been revised. Government of India has constituted the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission (IPC) on 22nd March 2005. The Commission has its headquarters at the Central Indian Pharmacopoeia Laboratory (CIPL), Sector 23, Rajnagar, Ghaziabad, UP. The Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission (IPC) has a governing body of 8 to 10 members and scientific body of which include 15 to 23 members from different related scientific fields. Okay. Governing body contains 8 to 10 members and scientific body contains 15 to 23 members. Okay. Various expert committees were also made to prepare various monographs. Okay. Then next one, fifth edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia, which was published in the year of 2007. Then salient features are it is presented in 3 volumes. Volume 1 contains general notes, preface and the structure of IPC, introduction and general chapters. Then volume 2 contains general monographs on drug substances and dosage forms and pharmaceutical aids. Then volume 3 contains monographs on drug substances, dosage forms, pharmaceutical aids, vaccines and immunosera for human use, herbs and herbal products, blood and blood related products, biotechnology products and veterinary products. Then general chemical tests for identification have been almost eliminated, and a more specific infrared and ultraviolet spectrophotometric tests have been included. Then the test for pyrogens involving the use of animals, that is the test for pyrogens by using animals, has been virtually eliminated or avoided, and the test for bacterial endotoxins has been introduced. Then the test for abnormal toxicity is now confined to certain vaccines. Then the use of chromatographic methods has been extended in the assays to large number of pharmaceutical products. Then labeling conditions and storage conditions are featured at the end of a monograph. Then the general monographs for dosage forms of active pharmaceutical ingredients, that is our API, are grouped together at the beginning of volume 2. Okay, followed by the monographs for active pharmaceutical ingredients, pharmaceutical aids and individual dosage forms, which are arranged in the alphabetical order. Then monographs for other articles of a special nature such as vaccines and immunosera for human use, herbs and herbal products, blood and blood related products, biotechnology products and veterinary products are given in the separate section in volume 3. Then limit of bacterial contamination has been introduced for controlling the microbial quality of all medicinal products. Then analytical methods are in general in harmony with those adopted internationally for monitoring the quality of drugs. Okay. Then next one, 6th edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia, which was published in the year of 2010. Salient features are: this edition was published under the chairmanship of M.S.K. Sujata Rao. It consists of 3 volumes and contains total of 1918 monographs, out of which 287 are new monographs. More than 600 are already existing monographs which were updated in this edition. Then other salient features are: it contains the category of a drug and its dosage form and the strength of the different dosage forms. Then chemical identification tests have been removed and substituted with the infrared and ultraviolet spectrophotometric tests of greater specificity. Then cross-referencing has been avoided in this edition. Then the subject matter has been presented in a unique and user-friendly style. Then monographs on veterinary products form integral part of this edition. Then additional monographs have been added on herbal drugs. Many monographs that are not available in the major pharmacopoeias of the world has been included in this edition. Then pyrogen test has been virtually removed from this edition. Then usage of chromatographic techniques has been increased to greater extent. Then this edition also has an authenticity certificate. It is an important point. This edition has an authenticity certificate. Then its addendum, which was published in the year of 2012. Okay, then next one, 7th edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia, which was published in the year of 2014. Salient features of this edition was published in the year of 2014 by IPC, India Pharmacopoeia Commission, on the behalf of Government of India. This edition contains 4 volumes and contains 2,548 monographs, out of which 577 monographs are newer ones. Okay, for the first time, Pharmacopoeia contains 19 monographs on radiopharmaceuticals and 1 general chapter. It also mentions the standards for novel drugs and drugs employed under national health programs. It does not contain monographs on the drugs and formulations that are presently not in use. Like all other editions, this edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia is also expected to contribute to the improvement of quality of the drugs and thereby improve the public health and enhance the growth and development of the pharma sector. Okay, then this is all about the Indian Pharmacopoeia. That's all.